Hey everyone, welcome to Day Deal on Display, daydeal.com's own YouTube channel regarding product previews, reviews, and demonstrations. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Speck Fit Folio cover for the Apple iPad 2. You're more than welcome to check this cover out at its official website at any time, and that's going to be located at www.speckproducts.com. Now, we're a little bit late to the party in reviewing the Speck Fit Folio, and it actually turned out quite good for us. Reasons being is because everyone and their mother seems to have reviewed the Speck Fit Folio already for the iPad 2, so there are definitely a lot of other opinions out there on the internet. You're more than welcome to use your favorite search engine, type in Speck Fit Folio iPad 2, and see all those other reviews. So what we're trying to get at is that with this particular review from us, we get to be a little bit more open, we get to be a little bit more casual with it, so to speak, and we're just going to tell it how it is. Of course, we try to do it with all of our case reviews, but sometimes you do want to set a precedent. There are other times some reviewers are a little bit too generous with their words, and other reviewers are a little bit too harsh. We always try to stay the neutral ground, but now we really get to just be right in the middle. Now, that being said, the Fit Folio does come in three different colors: black, gray, and red. What you see in front of us is the black version of the Fit Folio. We actually will not be looking at that inside and out. We will be using the red version of the Fit Folio right here, which is loose, and we will be putting on our live iPad 2 on the right hand side. Now, we're a little bit saddened to see another portfolio case come out for the iPad 2. If you guys don't know, especially if you're a new owner to the iPad 2, you may be wondering, well, where are all these cool accessories that I saw for the iPad 1? Well, technically, most of the iPad cases for the iPad 1, as long as they weren't a skin or a hard shell case, fit for the iPad 2. You just get a little extra girth, but pretty much the same exact dimensions. So it's because of that reason the iPad 2 isn't really getting as much love as far as accessories go, and it's not really getting that many innovative designs. We just keep seeing the same rehashed stuff over and over again. People slap a different color on them, maybe make a different material, and call it a brand new cover. And we're like, okay. So we're really hoping to see skin covers and hard shell covers custom made for the iPad 2 specifically come out in the future, and these portfolio cases we're hoping starts going out of favor because they're getting really boring, to be frank, and a lot of them out there are universal designs, meaning that you don't even have to use your iPad 2. You can use the iPad 1, you can use a netbook, you can use a tablet, anything that fits inside that universal case would work out just as well. And like we said, that's just a little boring, but hey, what can you do? Now, the Fit Folio is made of vegan leather. That is the material that the case is primarily made of, and on the interior you have a nice layer of microfiber, which is also very cushiony. If you are wondering what vegan leather is, it's, as its name implies, it's a synthetic leather material that's not made of any animal products. As far as texture goes and its overall feel, it's obviously not as nice as genuine leather. Okay, it's not as glossy, it's not a softer plush, it doesn't offer as much protection. At the same time, we do believe it's a much higher grade than your standard issue pleather. You know, pleather being that generic fake synthetic leather that you would find in most cases, especially budget covers out there. Anything that you can find for, like, you know, $5 or $10 on eBay special, anything like that, you know what I'm talking about. So it's kind of in the middle, and of course, outside of your own beliefs on, you know, what leather should be made of, we have to say that the feel of it is nice on the Speck Fit Folio. It is a nice consistent finish, we have to say so ourselves, which is good. That's always what you want to see in a case, and it's pretty decent. It will offer pretty good protection for your iPad 2, especially if you're coming from owning just a smart cover, which of course is an excellent cover by itself. We do have one for the iPad 2 as well, but sometimes we need a little bit more protection. That's where the Fit Folio comes in. So I'm going to move the black retail package out of the way. Just going to slide our iPad 2 in the center, give you a detailed look of the Fit Folio before installing it. Now, the closure on the Fit Folio uses this kind of drawstring type of mechanism, if you even want to give it an advanced name like that. And the idea Speck was going for is, you know, it's a portfolio case. Why not give it this cute little thing where it looks like one of those manila folders where you have a drawstring? We understand the design, but at the same time, we're not too sure how long this little string right here can last. It's elasticity, so to speak. We feel that maybe over time it's going to get stretched out a little bit too much, and then it's going to be a very, very loose fit, and it's not going to keep the case closed as well as it did when you first got it. it's going to be problematic down the road. We can just already foresee it. We've seen it in other cases. So we weren't really that happy with this design. They could have just went with the straight magnetic closure. It would have made everyone a lot happier. You wouldn't actually have this bulge on the side of the case. As you can see right there, it does kind of stick out like a sore thumb. But it is what it is. You have to accept it for what it is. And for what it's worth, while it's new right now, it does keep the case nice and tight. And it still looks pretty. Now looking on the exterior of the cover, I'm going to go and show you that vegan leather finish, very consistent from Speck, so that's always nice. You can see right there all the little stitching work as well is consistent, not many loose stitches, not uneven stitches or anything like that, what you would see on a quote-unquote inferior type of portfolio case. Now you notice that there is a hardened plastic edge on the rear of the Fit Folio. That is because on the inside, the plastic retainer portion, I guess I'll go ahead and call it that, that actually extends to the edges of the Fit Folio, and that can be a good thing. As a matter of fact, it is a good thing because it actually does offer more protection for your iPad too. You want to make sure that that hard plastic shell is on the outside and absorbing that shock first. You don't want just the synthetic leather material doing that by itself, because that will crinkle over time, and after a couple of major drops, you know, it bends, it warps, and that's not good stuff. So with that plastic shell right there, on the outer edges, you're going to get more drop protection for your iPad 2, especially if it lands on its side, as well if it lands on its corners, which is more common than landing flat on its face or on its rear. Now I'm just going to go ahead and slide in our iPad 2 into the Fit Folio. Maybe I should do it this side first. There we go. Once you snap it into place, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a quick close shut and show you how it looks with the iPad 2 inside. No surprises there. Now the Fit Folio does allow your iPad 2 to go ahead and be placed in media viewing mode. I guess that's the buzzword nowadays. And there are a couple of slits in the front cover, so you can have different angles. You can make it a little bit more shallow if you want to, or pronounced, in other words, toward you. And we do have to say we do like the way the Fit Folio handles this. It feels very sturdy. It doesn't feel loose. It doesn't feel like the iPad's going to fly right at you. Maybe if you're on a subway ride, for example, and you know you have a place to sit down, this feels like it's going to stay in place. It's not just going to go and just pop out right at you like so, and that's always a good thing. If you need to type with your iPad 2, you can actually go ahead and bend the Fit Folio backwards, and this is supposed to be typing mode, or typing orientation, as you see right there. And, well, there you go. Finishing off the 360 tour, you can see that you have access to all your iPad 2 functions while the Fit Folio is open. If you close it, obviously you can't really do much with your iPad 2, but there are still appropriate openings where necessary. On the top you see one for the audio jack. Doesn't necessarily line up perfectly, as you can see right there, but it does do its job. You have an opening on the top for the power button, or the sleep switch, where you like to refer to it as. There you go. Moving on to the bottom, you have an opening for the all-important 30-pin dock connector, so you can still go ahead and charge your iPad 2 while it's inside the Fit Folio, as well as an opening for the speaker, so if you happen to be playing something, you can still hear out of it even while the cover is in this closed position. Moving on to the side, you have an opening for the volume up and down rocker, as well as the screen rotation lock. And on the rear, an opening for the rear-facing camera on your iPad 2. And that is it, folks, for the Speck Fit Folio cover for your iPad 2. Remember, it comes in 3 different colors: black, gray, and red. And in our final opinion, and I guess you can say our closing critique, if you will, what do we have to say about the Fit Folio? It's a good case. It's the same quality we've come to expect from Speck. There have been a couple of other people out there who've already reviewed it that said there is some problem with the fit of the cover on the iPad 2, something with corners and damaging the actual iPad 2 itself. We could not replicate the problem. That's not to say that those people were lying or anything like that, but we didn't see it on our own iPad 2, so there you go. Just be cautious of it. If you do if it does feel a little bit tight, you might want to bend out the edges a bit, or double check if you got a defective unit. And other than that, it's not really exciting. We don't hate it. We don't really love it. it is what it is. It's just another portfolio case. It just happens to be from Speck. It happens to come in 3 colors, and you can go ahead and check it out at their website, www.speckproducts.com. If you want to check out other stuff for your iPad 2, visit us on our own website, www.dadio.com. Show us some love. We've got some toys for your iPad 2. Hopefully something else that is a little bit more interesting. And you're more than welcome to keep following us on our YouTube channel, Dadio on Display, for more product previews, reviews, and demonstrations. Thanks so much for watching.